Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of House of Ways and Means. It's Turn Down Friday. So today we're going to make a little something special. Something that I really like to eat when I want something salty. You know, you want something salty and savory and just got that nice greasy mouthfeel. Chicken adobo. Now I'm going to put my own little twist on it today. It's not traditional, but I'm going to add some mushrooms in because I really like mushrooms and we got a bunch on sale, so I'm trying to use them up. So this is going to be like a chicken mushroom adobo. Now I know a lot of different cultures like to make adobo and have their own versions, but I like the Filipino version. So all my Filipino friends out there, this one's for you. Don't get mad about the mushrooms. And I got a couple other non-traditional twists and takes in there. Just wait and watch and see what's going on. It's gonna be fun.
So we're going to start with 6 chicken thighs. These are bone-in, skin-on. I just seasoned them with salt and pepper. And I have a hot pan behind there. And I'm not using any oil because something like chicken thighs has so much fat in it that it's going to produce a lot of oil on its own. So touches the pan, you want to hear something like this. So that lets you know it's ready. As you can see, you're starting out skin side down, just getting a quick sear on the chicken. So we're gonna put those in a single layer on the pan. And just a quick note about cookware, you're gonna want either a skillet or a saute pan that has a lid on it because you're gonna have to cook these for a while. They're gonna be simmering in liquid and you don't want the liquid to cook off too fast. So you're gonna sear it for about 6 minutes on the skin side, and we're gonna give it a quick flip and then sear it for another 6 minutes on the other side. And once those are done, we're just gonna take them out and put them to the side. So remember, we started out with a dry pan. Now we have a lot of that chicken grease that has come out of the thighs. So we're going to pour some of that out, but we're gonna reserve enough to just continue cooking the rest of the recipe. This is where the fun starts. So I'm gonna start out with 1 whole sliced up onion. Now, like an idiot, you see I have the 8 ounces of mushrooms that are sitting there right in front of my face. Somehow I just forgot it or just didn't see it. Or else I would have started out with those. But, I started with the onions and it still came out fine anyway. Eventually I remembered that I had onions or mushrooms that I wanted to put in, and I finally added those and I let those sweat together for a few minutes. These are just white button mushrooms that I sliced up myself, but I mean, honestly, you can use any kind of mushrooms you want, whatever your favorite kind is. After a couple moments here, I brought everything over to one side of the pan just so I could add in a little heat to the dish. So I got some red pepper flakes and I put about half a teaspoon down into the bottom of the pan. Just let that warm up a little bit in the oil. And then I just folded it in. Now, garlic is a major flavor in this dish, so if you don't like garlic, I don't know what to tell you. Here I got about 2 heaping tablespoons of fresh diced garlic, and I also have about a teaspoon of ginger in there. So I just fold that into the dish, let that get all good and mixed in. And then we're going to start adding the liquid ingredients. So here I'd put some chicken broth in. I don't have any chicken broth, so I'm using a little chicken bouillon cube. I'm sure you know what those are. So I'm gonna add about 1 cup of water in, and then I just put the bouillon cube in to let that dissolve into the liquid. And just as a quick note, the liquid in the dish, the amounts are curated specifically for the fact that I'm making chicken. If you want to use another meat, such as maybe a tough cut of beef that takes a little longer to cook down, then you're going to have to adjust your liquid levels accordingly so that you can get the desired level of tenderness without, boiling all the water out and having, the meat burn on the bottom of the pan. So I have 3/4 of a cup of white vinegar. Traditionally, you'd use the seasoned rice wine vinegar, which has a sweeter, milder flavor, but this is all I had on hand, so I used the white vinegar, and I'm gonna add a little bit of sugar later on to counteract that harshness. And then I'm gonna add in 1/2 cup of soy sauce, and then I'm gonna add in that sugar that I mentioned earlier to kind of cut the sourness of that vinegar. And then I'm gonna add a tablespoon here of fish sauce. Now, fish sauce is completely optional, but I like it, so I added it in. Adds a nice little saltiness to it. I mean, aside from the salt that's already in the dish. But again, that's optional. There's another optional ingredient here. I think I got this from Aldi's. It's just minced garlic with chilies in it. And, you can manage the heat level you want in the dish as you like, according to your liking. I like it a little spicier, so I added some of that in. I mean, you can add something like sambal or whatever chili sauce you like and prefer. So I added some about a good teaspoon of that in, and then I finished it with 3 bay leaves. So bay leaves are an important recipe or ingredient in the dish. I went with 3. You might want to use more if you really like bay, or maybe less if you're not as big of a fan of bay leaves. But I used 3, like I said. And at this point, you're ready to add your chicken back in. And what we're going to do at that point is we're going to cover it, put it on medium-low heat, and we're just going to let that thing simmer away for about an hour or so, or until it's done. So I let it go for an hour. Just make sure you monitor the liquid levels every now and again. And if you need some more liquid, then you should go ahead and add a little water so it doesn't all cook out too soon. So after an hour is up, you'll end up with something that looks like this. So you can see there the liquid level has reduced a lot. The chicken is nice and tender and cooked, so we're all good to go. We are going to go ahead and plate this up. I made some vegetables that I didn't put on screen, but I just had some rice that I made, and I just kind of took the chicken and put it over top of the rice, and this is what it looks like. And now Waze is going to make an awkward cameo appearance.
He think he's so fancy.
Weirdo. Try it out. Thanks for watching.